welcome to Flight Test. I'm Josh Scott, and this is Josh Bix. No, just Bix. Nope, your name has been legally shortened.
It's been legally shortened.
This is the Bix3.
The Bix3. It's amazing. It's finally here. We've been so excited about this.
Yeah, and I'm sure you have.
I've been very excited about this. You know what? A lot of people have learned to fly off the Bix3 series, and thank you, Hobby King, for taking the time to design ready-to-fly packages. And we finally get to check this out, but we've been waiting almost a month for this.
And there's a lot of updates to it, too.
They really did their homework and took a lot of user feedback, which I think is phenomenal. Different power plant, sitting on a landing gear with a steerable rudder.
Yeah, is it detachable?
Yeah.
The landing gear?
Yeah, the whole thing can come undone. They also give you some flaps already included.
Some flaps there.
Now, weird thing I noticed is and maybe this is just how our kits came, but these just kind of flap in the wind. They weren't really secured.
Well, they're flaps.
At all. I know, but you got to really utilize them. Most of them actually have a part where you have to cut them out to make them move.
Okay.
Well, these kind of moved on their own. So
Gotcha.
You almost have to do flaps, which means you have to make sure you order some 9-gram servos.
Okay, cool.
But they were very impressive.
Another thing that they changed is the way that the wings mount in. Instead of pushing in together, they actually have these little guys that just unsnap right here.
Yeah, the wing shape also has been completely re-engineered too. Do you notice it doesn't have that smooth curve on the outer edge?
Yeah.
It has the double tapered leading edge.
Right.
Which is nice for especially when you corner and everything. So did a lot of homework on that. I also like how they have it where it allows a larger prop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thrust angle has been changed. Yeah.
Yeah, the thrust angle in the motor plant. It doesn't have the speed of the one. It doesn't have the slowness of the two, but it has a nice mix. It has plenty of speed. But I was flying this around with 4,400 milliamps. Didn't even matter.
That's cool.
Still had great characteristics. Now up in the front they did a couple changes too.
Yeah, there's lots of room up in here. And
included with the kit is this FPV pod. Now make sure with the FPV pod, ours actually came pre-built, but not very well. The glue joints were very weak. And I think this is the only one out of the 3 Bix3s that we ordered that actually was still in one piece when we got it.
Oh.
So make sure that you check all the glue joints. You don't want to be putting your electronics on here and have this thing fall apart in midair. But it's very well designed. It simply just pops right on here.
In there, just like the canopy.
Fantastic.
Cool.
And one other thing I like is this front nose actually removes and you can put a board camera up there. Now with a 2200 milliamp, we had to put it all the way forward to make it balance, and it felt like it was going to be tail heavy, but it actually flew pretty darn good.
Yep.
And I like that because as you put bigger battery packs, you can actually move that back. You have a large area to move your CG around with.
Cool.
Now one downside, the servos aren't serviceable. They're kind of sealed in there. You see this?
Oh, wow.
So what you need to do to service this, you'd actually have to kind of take a guess and drill a hole in there, or dig the servo out, service it, and then put it back in.
Gotcha.
One other thing that we noticed that was definitely not a good thing, that needs some addressing, is this motor shaft. We bought 3 Bix3s, but one of them had a bent shaft, and you can tell there that it's been actually turned down from what looks like from a 3 millimeter to like a 2.5 millimeter. And anytime you do that, you obviously invite issues with getting warpage. So definitely pay attention to that. That's something, unfortunately, you can't fix very easily. But do you notice all the carbon fiber reinforcement that they put in there? Let me just pull the guts out here real quick. They got all this carbon fiber reinforcement in there.
Nice.
And of course, where the landing gear goes in, a nice hard pocket, so it can pop out.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, little wheel pants on it too.
They're so cute.
Now, you know I'm biased, right?
Yeah, we all know that, Josh.
Yeah, I like this. Even though it has a couple problems with it, I think it's phenomenal. But we didn't want to just take our opinion, did we?
No. So when you guys were at E-Week, you guys actually put this through a few different hands.
Yeah.
Both beginners and experts alike.
We're at E-Week at Triple Tree Aerodrome in South Carolina. So we thought we'd get the community's perspective on the brand new Bix3.
We're gonna have 2 lines speaking to 2 different audiences. One is the intermediate, the other line is the people speaking to the folks that are first-time pilots wanting to get into the hobby. So we have 2 different people, 2 different experience levels. We're gonna see what they think.
All right, I'll let you go ahead and take off first. How long you been flying?
About 2 months.
And it looks like you're doing pretty awesome with it to me.
Well, we're keeping it a relatively straight and level flight, so yeah, it looks like it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like that's my son over there flying there.
Oh wow, so we got a father and son situation. That's great.
We came to Joe Knoll and got planes for our birthday. So
how long has he been flying? The same?
Same thing. Yeah.
Oh wow, he looks like he's handling it pretty well too.
Yeah.
You did really good. So this is your first time flying a 4-channel.
Yeah, I'm usually flying a Super Cub, and this is a nice step up. I actually really like it. It seems really smooth in the air, mildly aerobatic.
Nice.
How long have you been flying?
Since February this year.
Oh wow! So you're getting to really help us with the new person's experience.
I hope. I mean, you've been helping a lot to me, building planes and. Oh.
Well, that is what we are here for.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What do you think, man?
I think it flies pretty good. It's a nice beginner, and then you can kind of step up and you can do a lot with it.
Why don't you throttle back and see what it stalls like?
Yeah. Get some altitude. Oh yeah, it stalls real good. It doesn't drop very much. It drops a teeny bit, but it does real nice.
Ailerons are not that much for me because I like to do a lot of sport flying.
Okay.
It's got a lot of power when your battery's full, obviously.
Yeah.
And doing a loop, you need a little speed. I personally like to have a lot of throws and such, but it's a great intermediate fun flyer.
It's a torquey little sucker. I'm on full rate.
And it'll aileron roll nice and slow, but if you add rudder, it'll snap a barrel roll right around. It seems to have some nice characteristics.
Is it okay inverted?
Yeah, it seems to. Everyone's been hovering around. I haven't tried to invert yet myself, but
It really penetrates and moves well. Let me do just a couple of loops right here just to kind of get a heading.
the thing I noticed is when you give it throttle, it doesn't pitch too much, a couple of degrees, but it's not real aggressive on that. A lot of airplanes, you give them throttle and they want to climb or dive. Or
It even does 4-point rolls. So.
Getting blue up there, Pat.
I know it. We're going to
I'm
burn a
impressed.
hole.
Doing 4-point rolls with a trainer plane is pretty good.
Chase is the one doing rolling circles right now with the Bix3. How long have you been flying, Chase?
2 years.
2 years. All right, I'm going to be losing my job in about 3 years.
It's a fun plane.
Look at you kicking that sucker around. Now, I don't know how Chase is doing this, but he is putting this thing up in so many angles in such a short space. It's crazy.
It is an excellent beginner plane for people. It is just amazing.
And you're flying right now with full flaps.
I thought the flaps were down.
Kiss the ground, sir.
There you go. That's what you call touch and go, right?
A pretty hard one, too. I like how it's just stable and you can just float around the motor.
How long have you been flying?
1 year.
Okay, very nice. Good inverted.
You want to land it?
Well, go ahead and give it a try. Good. Oh, it's floaty, isn't it?
I can get it down.
You can do it. And just settles into it. That's beautiful.
So everybody got to fly it.
Yeah, and
So-
everyone had a good time. We had actually an extra Bix3 that we brought along.
Yeah.
We didn't need it.
Cause they never crashed.
They all came back in one
good.
piece.
Good. So what did they have to say?
Well, let's find out.
Okay.
My name's Pat Hartness. I'm an avid RC flyer. I've been doing it all my life, and I just thought it was a great flying airplane, real true. Not quite as stable inverted as upright, but rightfully so with the dihedral, but beautiful. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like the plane. I'm pretty much new at flying, but it seemed like it was very stable in the air and pretty much did exactly what I would expect it to do compared to simulator flying. I actually really like the plane. That was my first time flying a 4-channel plane, and it was a nice step up, mildly aerobatic, super smooth.
I've been flying about a year, something like that. The plane flies great. The rudder's a little anemic, but other than that, it's coordinated and flies great.
And I gotta say one thing. What mode do you fly?
I fly mode 1.
Okay, and for those of you who don't know, that is throttle on the opposite side of the way the rest of a lot of us fly mode 2. We have throttle left, and your throttle is
Right.
on the right. And he still picked up this airplane and was able to fly it total opposite hands. So great job.
Good job.
Thanks.
It's aileron, you really have to coordinate it with your rudder to get it to roll fast. It flies good, inverted, it's awesome. I love it. I'll probably buy one next week. It's great.
Got to fly the beginner version of the Bix3, and it flew very well, very stable. Wouldn't mind at all putting an FPV rig on this. Wouldn't mind at all handing it to a new pilot. It doesn't self-right itself very quickly. It's kind of anemic in that respect. So if the guy yanks over really hard on an aileron, it could tip on its wingtip and fall. But it actually, on a wingtip, it stays aloft fairly well.
Pretty good flying plane. I'd recommend it for beginners to intermediate. Either way, I flew the beginner one, and it flew well. Flew inverted just fine. Didn't need any up. Did outside loop fine. So
You stress tested it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
He wanted to put it to the test and see if the wings would fold, and he did that.
It held up.
Loved it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I did. I've been a fan of that plane since day one, so to be able to fly that, it was just, and I'm a fairly new pilot.
Yeah.
So grabbed right a hold of it. One of the other guys said, just pull both sticks to the right, and it barrel rolled just like you wouldn't believe. So leveled right out and flew perfect.
It's a very nice plane, and I'm thinking that any people that start with the hobby can get it and learn to fly. Yeah.
Awesome. How long have you been flying?
Since February, I said, or March.
Are you serious? So
Yeah.
You're a brand new pilot.
Yes.
That's awesome. He did fantastic with the friends.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So Josh, everyone got a chance but you.
And now it's my turn.
Now it's his
Let's
turn.
do it before we get eaten by a coyote.
We do have coyote problems.
There she goes.
There she goes. Now it's pretty windy today, isn't it?
Yeah.
You still have the original Bix3 one at your house.
I do. It's been a while, but I still got it. Why is it like crawling funny? I guess that's probably just the wind.
Yeah, a little bit of wind. But you can actually get a little bit more throttle, and maybe you just need a little more down trim.
Yeah, that's better.
A little better?
Yeah.
One nice thing about this too is as you step up from a beginner, you can then come right back to this and enjoy it as an FPV ship. And we literally just threw this right in your hands. We're like, hey, fly this.
Yep. And in true Bixler form,
it
handles like a champ. Yep, I like it.
You like it?
Classic Bixler feel.
It's
I'm sorry,
it's
Bix.
It's a
Bix. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that.
You want to put it in for landing?
Not really.
Yeah, there you go. Right in the wind. Oh, looking good.
Sorry.
Looking good. Look at that.
Towards those trees.
Like a boss.
It's
That was good. All right, so you got the flight in the cramped, windy conditions.
Yes.
And you maidened it.
Yeah.
By the way,
everything turned out okay, considering that you probably shouldn't try to land in a really tight space on a really windy day.
You did good. One thing I was really impressed with was when you did stall, you recovered really quickly.
Yeah. Thanks.
So that's a very soft stall characteristic.
Yeah, it's pretty forgiving.
More weight you carry though, that will change. So be careful about that.
Yeah.
All right, you want to head inside?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. Head inside.
So that was amazing. It was really cool to see all the opinions everyone had.
Yeah.
And also, they're unbiased, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, because we know how you
know, I like anything that flies, but anything that has even a resemblance on my last name, of course I'm going to bias over.
Even though it has a little less resemblance now.
A little bit less than before, but that's okay. It's still a great product, and it's still going to get a lot of people in the hobby.
Yeah. Thanks, Hobby King, for keeping the legacy going, because Lord knows that there's not enough planes named after Josh out there.
And thank you guys for also taking the time to fly and give your opinions and hang out with us. It was a great time fellowshipping with you at E-Week.
Yep. We'll see you guys next time. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, okay. You like stood there weird.